I've got to say, the hill climbing on this is very good, considering it is a cheap bike. Some nice big potholes to test this out on. Big oh, do you hear that? Here we have a tidy little e-bike, the Bodywel F20, that's under £800, closer to 700 than 800 actually. And you know what? This has actually got a motor, even though it's legal, 250 watts, that'll easily get you up our hill. Is hill climbing important to you? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you on the road. I feel like they're trying to trick us, because if you look at the website, it said intelligent torque sensing speed sensor. So if anyone's trying to work out whether it's got a torque sensor or a cadence sensor, you're kind of like, well, it says torque sensing intelligent, it's got to be a torque sensor. And then when you get on it for the first time, you kind of go to pull away slowly. So if I slowly pull away, watch this. It kicks in now after about half a rotation, but it's really mild, and then gradually it ramps up the power up to full power. And it might actually convince people that it is a torque sensor, but it's not. It is a cadence sensor, and I think sometimes people call cadence sensors speed sensors actually. So I am going 16, and if I put, oh hello, push a bit more, it doesn't change. Definitely a cadence sensor. So now we've got that cleared up, that's good. Because if I start ghost pedaling, so now I'm not pushing on the chain at all, it carries going, it carries on going at its top assist speed at 15 to 16 miles per hour, because of course this is a legal e-bike, the Bodywel F20, not the Pro. There's a Pro version which has a Bafang motor which peaks at 1000 watts. This one does not. Hello. Let's get across here. Now this is going to be a bit hairy because it takes so long to kick in. Right, there we go. Learners. Come on, kick in motor. Kick in. It actually, when it does kick in, it feels like quite good, like it's proper pushing you forward, but the controller must be set up in such a way to save battery that it doesn't try and blast you off the line. It's really slow, but I don't like the way it is at like busy junctions like that. But obviously, if you've got a normal bike with no motor, then you've got to put up with stuff like that all the time, haven't you, because you've got no motor. So if you're okay on a normal bike, then you'll be okay on this bike. But anyway, what is this? This is a fat tyre, non-folding e-bike from Bodywel called the F20. We've had an F20 on before. It looks totally different. That was fully folding from Far Freeze. 250 watt motor, no throttle. Max speed, max assist speed, 15.5. And it's going along quite nicely at the moment at that speed. I don't feel like it'd be great at pushing me much faster than that. I mean, I can try, but I get tired quick, I can tell already on my legs. I am going up a hill and we're going fine. I'm in gear 7 of 7. We've got Shimano Tawny, I think, basic gears. Got some nice BMX handlebars, I like those. Obviously not the chunkiest fat tyres. 3 inches wide, not 4. 4 is your standard chunky fat tyre. But these are quite nice over bumps. Here we are on the worst road in Wolverhampton. Probably isn't the worst road in Wolverhampton anymore because there's so many other bad roads, but trying to go for all the bumps feels absolutely fine. We've got front suspension, no rear suspension. So let's check how it does on an R test. I've had worse. Wow. And now let's check this 250 watt motor out on the hill climb, where we'll see how its 55 Newton meters of torque do. 3, 2, 1, go. It's kicked in. Put the gear up to 3, so I'm not really actually gear up to 1, so I'm not helping. 100% ghost pedaling. It's 100% a cadence sensor because I can't even feel the chain, but this is going quite well. While I'm going up the hill, let me tell you, the screen is nigh on invisible. I can see it, 13, 12, 11. Everything's nice and bold, but it is quite sunny today. And it's not exactly, well, I wouldn't say it's hard to see, like I can see it, but I can tell that it's dull at the same time. So because it's so bold, I can still see it. Weird thing about the screen, that power button don't really do anything. The mode button turns the lights on. Double tap the mode, and you can barely see this because it's so dull. It changes miles into kilometers, and then triple tap changes from odo to trip. Right, we slowed right down now. 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. Oh, speeding up. We've got the on that screen, got a few little modes. Press the M button, you turn the lights on and off. We've got front light, rear light's a brake light. Press the weird alien button to cycle through a few things. It does have Bluetooth, so you can connect it to your phone with an app. Plus and minus, usual stuff to go up and down the speeds. Well, this bike's made it up anyway, where many have failed, and across the line, so well done, Bodywel. And at 1 minute 22, it makes it up the hill with ease, and as you can see, it has made it up faster than many supposedly more powerful e-bikes and many more expensive ones. In fact, this is one of the cheapest e-bikes that has made it easily up the hill. Palm rests, pretty standard slip-on palm rests, not lockable, but they've got the, well, I say palm rests, hand grips have palm rests, so I'm glad they have palm rests, because you can like rest your palms on them. That's why they're called palm rests. You know what, I'm not seeing a bell or a buzzer. I think you're meant to get a bell with it, but I don't remember seeing one in the package. I might be wrong. Look at this lovely tarmac. Look at this. Oh, it's lovely. I know it's crap. Some nice big potholes to test this out on. Big pot. Oh, did you hear that front? That was the front suspension bottoming out. Now you can't lock that suspension. Thankfully, in everyday use, come on. As you're just riding along, it doesn't bottom out, but if you try and bottom it out, you can bottom it out, and if you go for a big pothole, as you just saw, it will bottom out, so be careful. Now the battery, now online it says 13.5 amp hours, 48 volts. I'm glad it's 48 volts, that's why it's got a bit of extra oomph to get up the hill. But this battery is actually, well, it says 720 watt hours. You get the watt hours by, oops, shouldn't have gone there, by doing voltage times amp hours. It doesn't actually say the amp hours on the battery. Bit of maths, if you do 720 watt hours divided by the 48 volts, you get 15 amp hours, not 13.5 like they say on the website. So I'm not entirely sure what you're gonna get. I'd assume it's the same as mine, unless they're trying a little trick to make the reviewer one better. But we'll pop in at the end and get the range, and we'll think about what you'd get if you do get a 13.5 amp hour battery as well. Let's look at that battery. It is removable, so might as well pop in, check out the battery and the weight. To unplug the battery, it's quite simple. There's a little keyhole here, just give that a turn, and it's not fully unlocked. There's a little lever, turn the lever, and now it comes out. And there it is. Find out more there. Get it back in, pop it up there. Obviously, if you go and have a mud, you're gonna get muddy. There we go. Right, get it up a bit. What I mean. In. Hello. Weight's about
31.5
kilograms. Fairly heavy. I mean, you can tell it is with this chunky bit in the middle. Right, let's see if we can pick this over the bars as well. I wouldn't say the bike's light, but it's not mega heavy either. Now there is a connector on the front, because apparently there's an optional thumb throttle you can get with this bike. Obviously throttles that take it up to 15.5 miles an hour would make it illegal, because they're only meant to get you up to about 4 miles an hour. But it does have the option of having one, which is nice. Right, I've plugged this throttle in, and mine's weird for some reason. I think mine might be broken, because it basically starts going as if you're going full throttle now. So, although my throttle's kind of broken, I can confirm that when you plug a throttle in, it takes you up to the full speed. So it would in fact make your bike illegal. So I'm going to unplug mine now, and I need to get a different tester throttle. And I have just like totally forgot that I had the cap in my hand and dropped it on the floor. Great. I'm sure they made up the numbers on this bike. I mean, it's got 55 Newton meters of torque. It's got a max range of 55 miles. It's got a range on full throttle of 55 kilometers. There's a lot of 55s. If you're interested, the 55 kilometers on full throttle equates to about 35-ish miles. I've got to say, the hill climbing on this is very good, considering it is a cheap bike and it's meant to have a pretty standard 250 watt motor, but it isn't. But yeah, despite holding up the traffic, it's quite pokey up this hill. Right, we are going to do a brake check soon. Oh, sounded a bit like Alan Smith there. But first, let's pop in and see how this bike came and how easy it went together.
There be the box.
Inside the box, and there's a random adapter. Here it is out the box. In the box we've got the manual, we've got the tools, we've got a front light, we've got the pedals, we've got some bits and some white paint. We've got a 2-amp charger and we've got a pump. Get the pedals on. Handlebars on. The mudguard on. And the front light. Don't forget to tighten the handlebars up, and also when this is tight, boop. 2-amp charger should charge the 15-amp hour battery in about 7 to 8 hours. Now, going together well is all well and good, but if you can't fit on it, then there's no point. So let's see how big you got to be to ride this, or how small. Right, it does go very low. You don't have to be particularly tall to get on this. I've got about 31-inch inside leg, 5'9", and I reckon you'll be fine on this if you're like low 5 foot. And then it goes all the way up to here, so it can accommodate quite a tall rider. Say, like, you know, into your mid 6 foots. I don't know, that's probably pushing it, probably 6 foot. Brake test on these white things. Now. Whew. I didn't expect so much of a squid. Squid. 3, 4. Skid. Usually, on legal e-bikes, if the brakes are good, we don't skid at all. And it just stops. Wasn't too bad, but I've had better. They are cable brakes, not... They're disc brakes, but they're not hydraulic, they're cable. What you prefer does depend, because hydraulic are definitely better, but they are harder to look after if they go wrong. Let us know in the comments, what do you prefer, hydraulic or mechanical? The pedals, very grippy, I like the pedals. Then they're like a hard plastic. Saddle's nice so far. Woo. The bike definitely feels like it's got more to give. Setting 1. So nothing. Okay, it's popping in. Still slow. Definitely speeding up slower. So it's like less power. Sounds like it's cut out at about 7. So 2's kicked in. Cut out about 12. And then back to 3 again. Let's try 0. Right, so I'm on my own power now. And I gotta say, it's kind of like driving through mud. There's a lot of rolling resistance on this bike. And just general bike resistance. Obviously I can bring the gear up, which you forget to do sometimes. So basically, if you do run out of battery, you can get home faster than walking, but it's not going to be a pleasant experience. Right, let's do a 0 to 15 check. You ready? And 3, 2. Takes a while to get to 0. Go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Stop. Well, we've still got full battery. I think now is probably a good time to jump into the future and see what kind of range we got. And then we'll talk about some positives and negatives. Right, we've done just over 14 miles. We're down to 3 bars, which is like 7 miles a bar. You think 5 bars times 7, 35 miles, which is kind of like what they said on full throttle. And although I haven't got the throttle attached, I've been on the top speed, basically letting the bike do all the work, so it's equivalent to full throttle. So that seems about right. We haven't had much voltage sag, which is good. The power now seems the same as the power at the start, which is also good. And it's a really punchy bike. So I probably won't get the full 35 because when it gets down to the bottom, the power is a bit not as good. However, you can kind of eke a little bit more out at the end. So I'd say 35 is realistic, especially considering I'm about 110 kilograms. So if you're lighter than me, you're definitely going to get it, or you're going to get more. So that's good. If you're going to get the full 55 miles in pedal assist 1, you may well. However, pedal assist 1's extremely slow. And this is not that nice to ride without power, so I wouldn't have that 55 in your head, really, unless you want to get sweaty. Let's go positive first. It has got good power, and that is like a massively important thing. I do like the shape and the handlebars. The front suspension is okay. The price is very nice. And if you can get a discount, you might even get it into 600 and something territory, in which case this would be a banger of a deal, despite whatever negatives I'm about to say. Gears work fine, they're very basic, but they work fine. You get the mud guard, and you get the rack at the back, which is nice. Quite often they are extras. Negatives, although the screen isn't terrible, it is very dull. The bike itself, despite being able to put the saddle up quite high, I think the wheelbase is quite short, so I feel like I'm kind of close to my handlebars. Now, because I'm only 5'9", it's not too bad, but if you're getting towards like 6 foot, you might feel a little cramped on it, even if you do put the saddle up. The power delivery, I see why they've done it, because it probably saves a lot of battery, but I'd like a more instant power delivery. I do like the fact that it's got a cadence sensor, but some people won't, and some people will prefer a torque sensor, because if you don't have a throttle with a cadence sensor, you can't get away straight away, and you might struggle to get the power to kick in. However, you could overcome that with a throttle, but then you are obviously making the bike illegal. Overall though, for about 700 quid, this is an extremely well-equipped bike. And I've just recently done a video about the top bikes under 800 quid. And if I'd already had this bike, I definitely would have included it. Because for the price, it's very nice. You're getting racks, mudguards, colour screen, decent sized battery, front and rear lights, a brake light. You're getting a lot. So well done, Bodywel. You have offered extremely good value there. And to be honest, I've always liked Bodywel. But do please, Bodywel, if you're watching this, leave a comment to let us know what exact size battery they're going to get. Are they going to get the battery like mine, 15 amp hours, or are they going to get 13.5 amp hours as it says on the site? Let us know, please. But there we go. That was the Bodywel F20. If you do want a bit more oomph, there's always the F20 Pro, and it's only a little bit more expensive actually. So I'll leave you a link to have a look at that as well. And if you found this review helpful or enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, give us a thumbs down, but let us know in the comments what was wrong so I can improve. And until next time, ride safe. Hiya.
You alright?
How you doing?
You're alright, you're not like...
Oh, like am I in distress?
Yeah, no, you've broken down.